One. Man, oh man, I can't even tell you how sad this makes me. Glenn Frey, Eagles guitarist, dies at 67. That's just somebody I grew up with, you know. Glenn Frey, a founding member and guitarist of the Eagles, one of the most popular and commercially successful artists of the 1970s, has died. The band confirmed on the news on Monday, January 18th, with a statement on its website. Glenn fought a courageous battle in the past several weeks, but sadly succumbed to complications from rheumatoid arthritis, acute ulcerative colitis, and pneumonia, read the statement. Words cannot describe our sorrow, nor our love and respect for all he has given to us, his family, the music community, and millions of fans worldwide. Frey has been battling intestinal issues that caused the band to postpone its Kennedy Center honors. A statement from the band said when the recurring problem would require major surgery and a lengthy recovery period. Eagles drummer and vocalist Don Henley issued the following statement. "He was like a brother to me. We were family. And like most families, there was some dysfunction. But the bond we forged 45 years ago was never broken. Even during the 14 years that the Eagles were dissolved, we were two young men who made a pilgrimage to Los Angeles with the same dream, to make our mark in the music industry. With perseverance, a deep love for music, our alliance with other great musicians, and our manager, Irving Azoff, we built something that lasted longer than anyone could have dreamed. But Glenn was the one who started it all. He was the spark plug, the man with the plan. He had an encyclopedic knowledge of popular music and a work ethic that wouldn't quit. He was funny, bullheaded, mercurial, generous, deeply talented, and driven. He loved his wife and kids more than anything. We are all in a state of shock, disbelief, and profound sorrow. We brought our 2-year history of the Eagles tour to a triumphant close at the end of July, and now he's gone. I'm not sure I believe in fate, but I know that crossing paths with Glenn Lewis Frey in 1970 changed my life forever. It eventually had an impact on the lives of millions of people, other people all over the planet. It will be a very strange going forward in a world without him in it. But I will be grateful every day that he was in my life. Rest in peace, my brother. You did what you were set out to do, and then some." He was born on November 6, 1948 in Detroit, and was raised in nearby Royal Oak. He grew up on both the Motown sounds and hard edge rock of his hometown. He played in a succession of local bands in the city and first connected with Bob Seger, which is also from Detroit. When Frey's band, the Mushrooms, convinced Seger to write a song for them, Frey can also be heard singing extremely loud backing vocals, particularly in the first chorus on Seger's first hit, the Frey's first recorded appearance in 1968's Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. But it wasn't long before warmer climes called, I'm guessing they mean climates, and Frey followed his then-girlfriend, Joan Silwin, to Los Angeles. Her sister, Alexandra, was a member of Honey Ltd., a girl group associated with Nancy Sinatra's producer, Lee Hazelwood, and she introduced Frey to her friend John David Souther. Pretentious introduction, long before the two were living as roommates in East LA, with another aspiring songwriter named Jackson Browne. All three quickly became deeply involved in the burgeoning LA country rock scene centered around the Troubadour nightclub. It started with the Byrds, proliferated with Graham Parsons and the Flying Burrito Brothers, and would, in softer form, dominate American airwaves for the bulk of the 1970s. First, Frey and Souther would pay their dues as an unsuccessful duo, Long Branch Pennywhistle. The pair released a self-titled album in the short-lived Indie Amos Records in 1969, but soon split up. In 1971, fellow future country rock superstar Linda Ronstadt was seeking a backing band, and on the advice of Souther, her boyfriend, hired Frey along with his friend, drummer Don Henley. On the night of their first show with Ronstadt, the ambitious and driven pair decided to form their own band, and later recruited ex-Poco bassist Randy Meisner and former Burrito's guitarist Bernie Leadon. The Eagles became one of the first artists signed to David Geffen's then new label, Asylum. The group was an instant success, writing on the back of its first single, Take It Easy, a song written almost entirely by Jackson Browne, with some lyrics added by Frey. By a long string of mid-70s hits like Peaceful Easy Feeling, Desperado, Tequila Sunrise, Best of My Love. Number 1, March 1975, Witchy Woman. The funkier, One of These Nights. Number 1, August 1975, the harder, edgy, Already Gone. Many written by band members in collaboration with Souther. The Eagles became the standard bearers, and Asylum Records became the epicenter, the California soft rock explosion. Barney Hoskins, 2006, book Hotel California and his excellent history of that scene and the Eagles' role in it. Guitarist Don Felder filled out the band's sound in 1974, and after Leadon left the following year, guitarist Joe Walsh joined, beefing up the band's sound and lofting them to even greater heights with the 1976 Hotel California album, which sprawled number 1. Singles with the title track and Frey's New Kid in Town, possibly his defining song along with Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. Those albums define the denim, drugs, and decadence of the jet-setting late 70s California rock scene. But drugs, egos, and success soon took their toll, and it was some 3 years before the Eagles released the follow-up album with The Long Run, spurred by the Hot 100 number 1 single, Heartache Tonight. The album was a commercial success and helped bring the music industry out of the post-disco sales tailspin, but the band succumbed into infighting and split in 1980. Frey embarked on a successful solo career, enjoying the series of 1980s hits, the biggest of which were tied to the soundtracks like Beverly Hills Cop, The Heat Is On, Miami Vice, You Belong to the City, and even a regular character on latter show portraying a guitar playing smuggler named Jimmy Cole. The Eagles' solo hits begins to dry up in the 1990s, and before long, the reunion tour was masterminded by Irving Azoff, the group's longtime manager. The tour's title mocked the acrimony with which the group split up. Hell Freezes Over. The group continued to tour periodically and lucratively over the past 2 decades, releasing just scattered new material and focusing on solo works. In 2012, Frey released his first solo album since the 1990s, a collection of pop standards called After Hours. While the Eagles were reviled as much as they were revered during their heyday, the situation hilariously rendered in a scene in The Big Lebowski, when a title character is physically ejected from a taxi for asking the driver to turn off the radio when Peaceful Easy Feeling comes on. There's no questioning the enduring quality of their hits or the freshness of their sound, particularly the keening harmonies of Henley, Frey, and Meisner. But more lasting may be its success. For years, the group's 1976 collections of greatest hits 1971 to 75 regularly swapped places with Michael Jackson's Thriller as the top-selling album of all time. It's been certified 29 times platinum by the RIAA. Hotel California is certified 16 times platinum. Frey and Henley were the Eagles' leaders and only 2 constant members, and it's difficult to imagine the group continuing without him. Discussing the superb 2013 History of the Eagles Part 1 documentary with Billboard, Frey said, "You couldn't have asked for a better script for a bunch of guys in their 20s trying to make it into the music business. We were young, we made mistakes, we still make mistakes. It's a story of an American band, it's also the story of the songs we wrote and what those songs did to people. We're here because everybody likes the songs."